Thank you. Thank you very much for joining our today's webinar. The name of the webinar is the security tools in MacKeeper. This is the second webinar that we have. The first one was about the cleaning, and this is the second one. My name is Roman. So hello, I am one of the support specialists here at the MacKeeper team. And today I will do my best to show you and to teach you how to use the security tools in MacKeeper to keep your Macs and your data safe and protected. I think it will take us about 15 or 20 minutes to do so, and in 15 or 20 minutes you will be guru in using the security tools in MacKeeper. First of all, let me show you, of course, how to open the MacKeeper. This is the part that we skipped the previous time for some reason. I forgot. So the ways to open MacKeeper are the following. First, you can use the icon in the dock if you have one, if you saved the icon in the dock. In case you do not have an icon in the dock, you can use the small robot head in the top right of the screen. So it should be next to the clock right there, right at the top. So you can click it and choose Open MacKeeper, or you can open the Finder. So the Finder icon is always the first icon in the dock. And using the Finder, you can go to Applications. So the link to Applications is usually in the left of Finder. In case you do not have a link to Applications in the left, you can use the magical Go button at the top. So right here, if you see the Apple icon in the top left of the whole screen, look to the right from it, there should be Finder, then File, Edit, View, and then Go. So click Go and choose Applications. And there, find MacKeeper. By default, items and applications are in alphabetical order, so look after L. So let's open MacKeeper. And today I will show you how to use the Internet Security tool and the anti-theft tools. So we'll go in details for these two tools. And also I will mention how to use the data encryptor and the shredder tools. So let's start with the Internet Security. Probably some of you say, oh, wait, sorry. By the way, you can use the chat form in the app that you've downloaded to ask questions. So you can ask questions, and in the end of this session, we'll have some time to answer 5 best questions. And after that, I will probably stay and answer your questions in the chat. In case some questions, in case we will not have enough time to answer all the questions right away, do not worry, we'll send you an email with the answers. And also, if you miss something during the webinar, there will be a recording, so we will send you an email with the link to the recorded session, maybe tomorrow, maybe in a couple days. By the way, sorry about the link for the previous session. There was some issue with the converting the video after the session. I will do my best to make sure no issues will be after this session. Okay. So let's go with the Internet Security. No, not yet. The interface. The interface of your MacKeeper may look slightly different because this one here is the MacKeeper 3.2. That's the latest version. It is not yet officially widely released. Only some people have it. Please have patience. It will soon be the main product of our MacKeeper team. But the functionality should be almost identical in your MacKeeper 2.x if you have that one installed on your computer. Okay, so let's go in with the Internet Security and let's open it. So the Internet Security as a tool consists of basically 2 tools. The old school antivirus that will scan your computer for all kinds of infected files and help you to get rid of them, and the safe browsing tool. So let's start with the antivirus scan, which is here, this tab. By the way, the Internet Security tool is not pre-installed, so when you first install MacKeeper, this tool is not yet on your system. The reason for this is you can safely use any other antivirus software if you think that is better than MacKeeper, which is not. And also, you can decide not to use the Internet Security at all. But who would, right? And also the anti-theft tool is also not pre-installed. So these other tools are installed by default when you install MacKeeper, but these two, the Internet Security and the anti-theft, are to be installed manually later. that is quite simple. Once you have the Internet Security, or once you click the Internet Security in the left of MacKeeper, all you then got to do is to click the Install Internet Security tool at the bottom in the center. And that will take some time to do the installation. The time of the installation basically depends on the speed of your internet connection. Once you have it installed, and if you would like to check your computer for viruses, you can go to the Antivirus Scan tab and click Start Antivirus Scan button at the bottom. Many of you would say that, wait, but Macs do not get viruses, right? Because that was what I was told when I purchased the Mac. Well, yes, that is one of the main selling points in the Apple Store, so probably most of you heard that Macs do not get viruses. That is not completely true. That was true like maybe 5-6 years ago, but today there are more and more viruses for, well, any operating system. Even Linux systems get viruses from time to time. And they are not as numerous as for Windows computers, of course, for Windows operating system, but still there are viruses for the Mac operating system as well. So it is good to have some tools to be sure that you are not infected by anything. And also, it is better not to be that bad friend who sends everybody viruses, even not knowing about that. So let's check our computer for viruses. To do that, we simply click Start Antivirus Scan button. I personally recommend you to use the antivirus scan tool to do monthly scannings to check if your computers do not have any viruses on it. You can do that by using the antivirus scan. You can also schedule scans. So you can click on the antivirus schedule tab here at the top, in the top right. You can click Add. Choose some folder to scan. I would recommend you to choose your downloads folder, which is inside your home folder, because basically that's the folder that gets the most infections, because when you download some files from the internet, chances are that you download something bad from it. So click Open, and instead of manual, you want to set the frequency for the scans. For example, weekly or monthly. Let's set it monthly and set some time for the scan. The Mac needs to be on during this time for the scan to be performed. So if you set it to 3 a.m., the scan will only be performed if your Mac is on at that time. If it is not on, if it is sleeping, or if it is off, then the scan will be performed as soon as you turn on the Mac after that certain time. So for example, this scan would be performed on the 1st of December at, I don't know, 7 a.m. when I wake up, if I set it to 3 a.m. instead. Right. So just set the frequency, and the scanning will be performed automatically when the time is right. Let's go back to the antivirus scan tab, because as I see, we already have some infections found. These are the test viruses that I downloaded from the internet. In order to get rid of them, you simply need to put a check mark in the square checkbox to the left from the item in the list, and then either click the Move to Quarantine button or the Delete button. Move to Quarantine, well, the quarantine itself is like a safe place from which the infected file will not be able to do any harm to your computer. It's like a folder somewhere in the system where that file will be staying and not doing anything. I personally recommend users to put files into quarantine in case you really need that file, and in case there will be an option to cure that file from the infection in the future. But if you do not have any idea where that file came from or what it is, I recommend you just to delete the file. So put a check mark next to it and click Delete. Once you put a check mark next to the file and choose Move to Quarantine, the file will go to this tab, the Antivirus Quarantine. So at the top, you should see different tabs like Status, say Browsing, Antivirus Scan, and Antivirus Quarantine. And you should see the file there once you move it to Quarantine. Once you do, you have two options, either Restore it from Quarantine or Delete. So to get rid of it for good. If you restore it from Quarantine, it will go back automatically back to the antivirus scan tab to this list, and again you'll be able to either delete it, or you can hold down the Control key on your keyboard, click once on that file, and choose Move to Whitelist. In case you need to look at that file in Finder, in the location where it is at the moment, in this case it is in My Documents, you can choose Reveal in Finder. But I would not recommend you to open the file in the folder because, well, it may run that malicious code in it. So if some false positive, what is called false positive detection, is happened, and you are sure that that file is not infected, you can add it to whitelist, and it will be ignored during the future scans in the Internet Security tool. So you see it went to the whitelist. All right, so that's the antivirus scan tab tool. Let's stop it. One more trick is that you can use the good old drag and drop ability here. You can drag any folders into it and scan them for viruses. That is quicker. For example, if you download some file and you only want to check that, you can simply drag it to the antivirus scan tab and it will check it for viruses. That is quite handy. In case you need to scan some external drive for viruses, you can use the Start Custom Scan button here, and it will allow you to choose some certain folder to do the scan. So if you have some external drives connected, they will be here in the left. You'll be able to choose them and choose some folders to open, and then click Open eventually to do the scan. And, well, you can click Stop Custom Scan if you need to. Right, and the safe browsing. The safe browsing is a great tool because you are not protected from all kinds of internet threats at all. Usually those are like malicious websites. The most frequent case is when you receive an email supposedly from your friend saying something like, hey, check this link, it's great. And you click on that link and you end up on the website that looks legit, but contains some, well, fraud content. You may give out your personal information there and thinking that this is a legit website. You can give out your credit card information, all kinds of things. So the Safe Browsing tool has a huge database of that kind of websites. It will block you from going to a malicious website, and it will also block some malicious scripts on the websites. So it's a great tool to have. Let's go back to the Status tab in the Internet Security tool. And let me explain these three switches here. So the real-time safe browsing is the tool we just spoke about. We can turn it off if we need to, but in most cases we do not need to. Even during the updates of the Adobe Flash Player, that sometimes says that please turn off your antivirus software before doing the update. You can simply ignore that and continue, because the Internet Security tool in MacKeeper will not interfere with the update of the Adobe products. In case it does, simply go here, click on this one, turn off the real-time safe browsing, click on the switch, and it will turn off. But, well, usually you do not need to play around here at all. I suggest you to keep automatic security updates on, because that checks for antivirus database updates all the time, so at least once a day, sometimes even a couple times a day. And the real-time antivirus scan is for cases when you work like with maybe parallels with Windows, when your system is really at risk. You can turn on this real-time antivirus scan, and it will basically constantly check all the new files on your system. But in most cases, I would suggest you to keep it turned off, because it may slow down the Mac a bit, because this constant files checking procedure is quite resource consuming. So if you turn that on and you feel that your Mac is slower than it was, just turn it off and do maybe weekly or monthly antivirus scan, or just schedule a scan as we did before. And, well, that's about it about the Internet Security tool. Let's continue with the Shredder tool. The Shredder tool is great in cases when you want to delete some file, but in a way that nobody will ever be able to recover it. Because even by using the files recovery tool in MacKeeper, there are great chances to retrieve certain files on the system. So when you delete a file into the trash and when you empty the trash, basically like bytes stay on your hard drive, and there is still a chance to recover that file from the hard drive until you rewrite it with some new files. It stays on that on the drive, and again, it can still be recovered. And the Shredder tool is a tool to use when you need to delete files in a way that nobody will ever be able to recover them. So you can simply click Select Items to Shred, go to some folder, choose what to shred, and then click Open, and it will shred it. You can also drag and drop files into the Shredder window to shred them, and then click Shred to get rid of them. But be sure to click Shred when you really do know that you can delete that file, because once you delete it, there is no way back. You cannot recover it. One trick here is in the preferences. So in order to go to the preferences, we need to click MacKeeper button right there in the top left next to the Apple icon on the top panel. So click MacKeeper and choose Preferences, and it will conveniently open on the Shredder tab. And here you can choose the type of shredding. The single pass is the fastest one, is the quickest. 35 pass Gutman is the most reliable, but it will take quite a lot of time. If you shred something like 5 gigabytes using this method, it will take a while. It will take a long time. So I suggest you just leave it on the 7 USDOD compiling passes. But in case you would like to speed up the shredding process, or in case you would like to be even more secure, you can set the 35 pass Gutman here in the preferences. Right. The next tool is the Data Encryptor tool, which is great when you need to hide some files or when you need to encrypt them. So, for example, if you need to just give your Mac to your friend for some time, or when you need to give your Mac to the Apple Store for technicians to look at it, and you do not want them to see certain files, or when you want to block your children from seeing certain files on your computer, this is the tool to use. First, you will be met with the welcome screen where you can read about the benefits, as well as for other tools in MacKeeper. You can click on the tutorial tab to see the video about how to use the Data Encryptor. And before using it, you'll need to set up a password. So let's set up a very strong password, which is 1234. Yeah, I know. I'm using strong passwords for that. And to encrypt something, we simply need to click the Add button here at the bottom and choose the file to encrypt. So let's encrypt something on our desktop. You see from the previous webinar, we still have the picture and the folder. So let's first encrypt the picture. Here at the bottom, we have some options. We have no encryption, AES 128, and AES 256. So let's leave it on no encryption, and that will simply hide the file from anybody else to see. So see it's in progress. Let's wait for it to finish, and then we'll hide the file from the desktop so that nobody will be able to see it in the Finder. So you see it's hidden. But let's say that we would like to encrypt the content as well. So let's use the 128, and again use a very strong password that only hackers like me use, 1234, and encrypt. So that will not only hide the folder, but it will also encrypt it so that nobody will be able to open it without knowing the password. And there is also no way to change the password once you've encrypted it. So if you forget the password that you used, there is no way to recover it. There is no way to change it. The only way to change it is basically like remove it and then re-encrypt it using a different password. When we click remove, that will simply put back the folder or the file into the place where it was before that. Hide and hide will, of course, show us the file on the desktop, and we'll be able to open it in the Finder. Just in case, please do not forget to hide all the files that you have in Data Encryptor before stop using it, for example, before going to sleep. The locate lost items button is for cases when you either reinstalled the system or reinstalled MacKeeper, and or when you reset the password for the data encrypted tool by using the help of our support team. To get back the files into this list, you'll need to use this locate lost items button. And the trick with using the button is you need to go directly to the folder that contained the files or folders before you encrypted them. You see, if we simply choose our home folder as a destination to check for files, it will not find anything because our files were on the desktop. So we need to go directly inside the desktop to get them back. So if we would have a folder named important, and then we would encrypt something inside it, we would need to go inside the important folder to open it and to retrieve it. Okay, so well, that's the trick with the locate lost items button. In case when you cannot find the lost items, but you are sure they are still on the drive, contact our support team. They will help. To contact the support team, you can click this Show Live Support button in the bottom right, choose like any question, and then choose I didn't find answer. And that will allow you to either see the phone number to call, use the form to send us an email, or start a live chat with us and ask for help. Right, and the last but not least tool is the anti-theft. Again, let me remind you that this tool is not pre-installed by default, so I suggest you to go and double check if you have it installed on your system at the moment. So in order to install it, simply click Start Using Anti-Theft. And then it will tell you that your anti-theft service is activated. So how it works is, if your Mac gets stolen, you need to go to your account page. Let me show you how to do that. So let's open the Safari and go to Account. Account. I cannot spell today. .chromtag.com. Log in with our email. I will be using the webinar at MacKeeper.com, and this time I will be using a safe password with uppercase, lowercase letters and digits. Yep, I did not forget my password this time. Good. So once you are on the account page, and if you use the correct email, go ahead and click on the anti-theft here in the say bottom left. That will show you the list of your applications, of your computers, sorry. In case you just activated the anti-theft and went to the anti-theft tab and you do not see any computers here, do not worry, they will be there in a couple minutes, maybe 20 minutes, or just restart the Mac and your Mac will appear in this list. And the next thing you need to do if your computer gets stolen is to click on the Report Computer Stolen button. It will ask you for the phone number because once your Mac is found, once the report is created, we will call you. The support team will call you and tell you that your Mac was found and that the report was created. Whoops, wrong password there. Well, of course, if that will happen during the daytime, according to your location. In that report, there will be the IP address, some like computer details, and a map. We are working together with Google Maps and with MapQuest web mapping service. So we are collaborating with them in order to give you more details right away on the map, but sometimes it doesn't work that good. Well, rather due to incomplete details from different internet service providers about the IP mapping in their system. But in most cases, it works quite good. But when it shows slightly odd information, do not worry. The IP address in the report will be enough for the police to know where exactly that Mac was used to go online. So the procedure here is the following. When you receive an email with the report, you need to print out that report, go to the police, and tell the police to contact any local internet service provider, because the internet service provider will have to tell the police the exact physical location of the place where the Mac was used to go online. So you'll have a lot more chances to retrieve the Mac. Also, a snapshot, an eyesight photo will be made of the thief, and well, that will also give you more chances to retrieve it. We are collaborating with police of different countries, not only the US, but also the Jamaica, Canada, of course, and other countries. This list is probably not complete. At least with these police departments, we are collaborating officially. Others should also help you with the using the internet, the anti-theft report. And also, there is a great video about how the anti-theft helped a customer from Brazil. The link to that video will be sent to you in the email after the webinar, probably together with the link to the recording of this session. Quite great video. We helped that person, and I'm happy. Right, so that's basically it. Once the computer is found, please go back to the anti-theft tab in the account page and click on report computer. Computer was found. Or if you simply test the feature, again, do not forget to go back to this page and turn it off, because, well, not to use the tool when you do not need to. Right. Did I forget anything? I think not. Nope. Okay. So it's time for your questions. Let's have something like 5 to 15 minutes of questions maybe, and then I will stay here to answer your questions in the written form. Okay, let's see. One moment, please. Let me look through it. Okay, we have a question from John Klotzeman, and he is asking, for the 35 Gutman, what is the long time and how much resource does it demand? Well, the time depends on how big is the file. That depends on the size of the file, and in the resources point of view, well, you do not need that much resources, but you do need the same amount of free space on the hard drive that is taken by your file or your folder. So if your folder is like 3 gigabytes, you need to have 3 gigabytes of space, of free space. If you need to encrypt a huge folder that contains a lot of data, I would suggest you to rather encrypt the data in parts, so that it would take less time to unencrypt it each time. So you could use files from different encrypted like groups. Okay, next question. Let's see. Is the shredder better than the secure delete trash default to the OS X? Well, yes, you can choose the 35 Gutman, and it will remove the files in a more secure way. If I'm not mistaken, the default secure delete is using that 7 DoD method, but I might be mistaken on that. And then again, you do not need to use, well, most of us do not need to use the secure delete trash all the time, because not all the tools are that important, right? And when you securely empty the trash, that is using some resources of the system. Well, not the resources, but it is using up the hard drive a bit. Okay, and well, I think that's about it for the questions for today. I'm sorry if most of you do not get answers right now. I will stay here and I will try my best to answer them in the chat. In case there will be no time for that, please wait for the email from us. We will email you after that. And again, wait for the recording of this session. And let me once again remind you that if you have any questions that are not related to MacKeeper, that are related to your Mac operating system or your iPad, your iPhone, you can use the Geek on Demand tool. It is always for you here. You can send them an email and you will receive an answer within 48 hours since the email is sent. 48 hours is the maximum time of wait. Usually it takes a lot less for them to respond. So simply click New Demand and ask your questions here. Any questions, any computer-related questions or electronic-related questions, so to say. Okay, that's it from me for today, and thank you very much for joining us. I hope to see you again soon in our third webinar, which will be about the optimization tools in MacKeeper. Sorry, I forgot for a moment how they are called. Okay, thank you very much. Bye bye.